give a round of applause to our two finalists.
정종현을 초반에 꺾어내기 위해서 서 선수 길게 골 필요 없다 이거죠?
그렇습니다. 이거 지지 말아내네.
아니에요. 무성보다 어떻게 여전히 그래도 무성은 싸울만해요. 네. 하는 타이밍을 여기 뚫려요. 여기 뚫려요. 그렇죠. 왕자의 게임입니다.
여기 벙커 건설하고 있다면 사실은 진짜 무섭다.
불법을 전략을 이겼는데요.
자, 역시 MVP다.
네. 메카닉을 상대로 하는 바이오닉은
나오죠.
공중에 못 잡고 나오는데 약간 위험해 보이는 안착해서 이건 다 잡혔는데요. 약승이죠. 여기는 윤성원이 차는 후에 차는 정종현의 한 번의 구경이거든요.
네. 이거 잘 들었습니다.
자, 일단
출발.
윤성원 수비 테란의 조정을 황태자가 왕위를 캐스팅합니다. 오늘 이곳 플레이스판에서 GSL 아카모에서
상대가 너무 강한 상대라서 솔직히 이길 줄 몰랐거든요. 근데 이렇게 4대1로 이겨서 너무 기쁩니다.
Greetings from Seoul, Korea, and welcome to the GSL. I'm Tasteless, with me is Artosis. How are you doing, Artosis?
I'm so happy we're finally back on the GSL here. Wow, BlizzCon was a blast, MLG was a blast, but we are back, Tasteless.
It was a real treat to be down there. My God, were there a lot of people at BlizzCon. That was
way more than the exactly 0 people sitting in front of me right now.
I know, we only got a camera in front of us right now. I have never casted in front of an audience that big, and I have to say, it was great. It was a treat to see all you guys down at that amazing event. Of course, I think it was one of our better finals that we've had. And for me, just to cast in front of that many people, I mean, what a privilege.
Truly, it was Tasteless. And we are back with a brand new season, a brand new format. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah.
Get ready for your brain to be melted.
It's good to be back here. I think we haven't casted for about a week. Maybe a little bit more.
It's been some time, man.
That's actually a pretty long time for Artosis and myself. This is, of course, the GSL Code S. This is the biggest, bestest, most competitive esports tournament in the world. And, of course, Code S is just simply put as high as you can get as far as being ranked as a Korean player. So if you're new to the GSL, maybe you just saw us at BlizzCon, welcome. We have quite a tournament ahead, many more players to upset other players, many more heavyweights to probably move deeper and deeper into the tournament. Of course, if you do not do well in Code S, you are at risk of falling down into Code A, which we also cover here at GSL.
Much higher risk, actually, than you used to be.
Yes. We have a new format. We'll get into that a little bit later.
I'm going to keep alluding to it the entire show, then never get into it. That's my plan.
So, we have a lot of exciting players here today. These guys are all so talented. As of late, the GSL has been a little bit Terran heavy, but that may change. Blizzard's been bringing out some patches. And, of course, we do have a complex way of filtering out players, or we have at least before, and we'll continue to here at Golem TV. And I'm looking forward to seeing these games unfold.
Indeed. We actually have a really great couple groups today, Tasteless. The comeback of MC into Code S. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's basically the story of the first group. 3 Slayers and the Slayer of Nerds himself, the Kratos, Protoss, OGS MC. And then we're going to move into the Nest group to see who gets second place.
And, of course, special thanks to our sponsors at Sony Ericsson for making this event possible. Without great sponsorship, esports events like this would not be possible. Feel free to follow GolmTV.net on Twitter. It's at the bottom of our screen, as you can see. And check out our mobile services. Also, follow us on Twitter. I'm Call Me Tasteless. He is Artosis. And that's him. Artosis wasn't taken. It was pretty easy to get your Twitter name up.
Oh, I got it way back, man.
So, as you can see, we're going to take a look at the winners' predictions. We're going to throw this up on screen for you guys in a minute when the graphics is ready. So as you guys can see, there's polls on the website, which we are bringing up for you guys now. And basically, you guys can vote and say who you think is going to get through. It allows you to interact a little bit more, with the site, with esports out here. So go to goumtv.net, click schedule, and then click the poll has started, or I believe that's what it will say, according to this graphic. And you can do the winner predictions. And this is kind of a fun little thing we've put in there that is going to allow you, like we said, just to vote and to give feedback. As you can see, some people, definitely not the favorite here. It looks like a live at about 1.4% there. So that's not very good for him. Hopefully he'll do a little bit better.
He is against MVP, of course.
Yeah.
You know, there will be that one guy that votes against MVP and ST, and they'll just keep doing it until eventually they lose. They'll be like, see,
right.
I knew it. I told you. I'm the smartest. It's like, no, actually, you're the dumbest.
Yeah, man. You fool. You thought MVP was going to lose. I believe next we're going to take a look at our format here. Now, we do have a new format here at the GSL.
All right, let me go into this a little bit. We're going to give this to you in chunks, guys. We'll show a lot of stuff on the screen, but let me just kind of break it down for you because the new format is a magical creation of Mr. Che. It's a hard one to understand, but it's very good for the players and for rotation in and out of Code S. The big thing for you to take away is only the top 8 of Code S will stay in Code S for the next season. The rest will fall down to the up and down match. Or not the up and down match, sorry, the Code A. Now, the further you make it in Code S, the better. If you fall down early in the tournament to Code A, then you're going to have a much harder time getting back in Code S. If you fall very late, like in the round of 16 to Code A, you're going to have a much easier time getting back in Code S. And so, you see there's a lot of information here. That we have graphics on the goumtv.net website. You can look it up some more. But I'm just going to give you guys that little chunk for now. Top 8 of Code S stay Code S. Everyone else goes to Code A. There's a huge up and down match of 30 players, 10 of which will make it into Code S from that. So there's a lot of different eliminations going on. A lot more people get into Code A now. Code A is gigantic. And that's really good because that was one of the big bottlenecks. We have actually in Code B some of the best players in the world. Like, for instance, I'm Younghwa has been stuck in Code B forever, and he's, like, actually as good as any Protoss on the planet. So
yeah. So, again, just for summary, there's Code B, Code A, and Code S. We don't really broadcast Code B, but if you're getting into Code B, you're going to go to Code A. Your goal in Code A is to get as far in Code A as possible, but ideally to make it into Code S. When you're in Code S, you want to win the whole thing. So, I think our new format is great. I know it might be confusing for some of you guys.
The one we have now was really confusing in the beginning. Everyone was all going, oh, this is crazy. But you all get it now, and you're like, nah, this one was easy. Well, it looks that way now that we all know it. But it will. We'll learn this one.
Yeah, you'll get the hang of it over time. I remember when we first did GSL with the Code A and the up and down and Code S, it was confusing. But, as time passed, people really got the hang of it. And now I think it's pretty much...
We're making you better people by making you learn harder and harder formats.
That's right.
Eventually, we won't be able to trick you anymore. You'll just understand.
Yeah. So I believe, I think we're going to take a look at where the finals might be held. I'm not sure. I might have to tell. Okay, I was correct. I might have to tell my PD to trimp his volume.
So as you can see, University Dayang.
Yes, December 3rd. You're going to be at the university. So come check that out. And, of course, come down to our studio anytime you want. It's free. Entry is completely free. In fact, sometimes there's free pizza, free soda. And the finals is free as well. So
free handshakes from us.
Yeah, free high fives from Tasteless and Artosis.
Free pictures if you have a camera.
Yep, we're happy to take them with
you
guys.
Free autographs if you have $5.
And we actually have a lot of people commuting out here from all over the world. I've gotten to meet people from New Zealand.
Commuting from all over the world. They drive their car over the ocean.
Can you say commuting? Is that not correct?
I don't know, man. When I think of like a 17-hour flight, I don't think of that as a commute because you can't do that.
I think it's safe to say commute, but I'm not entirely sure.
If you had like 36-hour days, maybe that would work.
We've had people who have traveled out here, from New Zealand, Turkey, Brazil, New York, everywhere. To see the
Everywhere
GSL
except Micronesia, actually.
No Micronesians yet. We're still waiting for the Micronesians to macro up their ability to get down here. Where else have we not had anybody from? I haven't met anybody. No Kenyan fans yet. We're still waiting.
That's true.
Nobody from Somalia.
Yeah.
I think we had somebody here from Iraq once. If I remember meeting somebody from Iraq. We've had people from everywhere. Just about. No Mongolians. We haven't met any Mongolian
I don't
fans.
know that we've had any aliens. This one guy, I'm pretty sure he was an alien, but he said he was from somewhere else.
He might have been a body snatcher. I don't know. So again, come down, whether it's just for just to check out our studio, depending on your scheduling, or come down and see the finals, because the finals are a real blast. I know the BlizzCon one sort of blew every other finals out of the water, but if you come down here and just check out, dude, we cast it for so many people at BlizzCon. That was actually crazy.
Yeah, it was.
I thought I was going to be nervous. I remember we walked around the BlizzCon convention hall the first day, because we get to go in a day before, and we looked at all these seats, and they explained that there was going to be 2 stages showing this. And I'm looking at Dan. I'm like, I don't know, Dan. We might be in trouble. This is a lot of people. Normally talk into just a camera in our studio. But actually, it went well.
No, it went fine.
It was fine. I felt fine.
Yeah,
I thought I was going to be nervous.
Job. That time where you had to fill air for like 15 minutes.
I know, right?
While I tried to get the nerds in the game.
I know, seriously. But you know what? It was a great experience. And I think our next finals is going to be a lot of fun, too. In the university area, should be a lot of students and stuff like that.
Yeah. Is today October 31st? Isn't that actually Halloween?
I think we missed Halloween. I actually didn't do anything for Halloween. No trick-or-treating. No going out and spooking the nerds. I had a...
Well, I think tonight is the 31st, right?
Is it?
I think so.
Is it the 31st? Is it the 31st?
John the Translator, is it the 31st?
It's the first. See, it's not the 31st.
It's the first? We missed it?
We missed Halloween. You know what I wanted to do if we were going to have Halloween coming up? I wanted us to dress up on camera.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
I know.
We missed it, man. We run around and find something. I take your Subway bag and put it over my head with 2 eye holes. I'm Bagman.
All right, so we had a video that we didn't get to show at BlizzCon, and it's going to be coming up after today's match. But we did play a game of charades.
I thought that was lost.
I thought we were going to survive that one.
Oh crap!
So you'll get to see this game. We had video footage for in between each game at BlizzCon, but it was only 5 games. It didn't go to the full extent we had hoped to, the longest possible.
Yeah.
So we're going to show some of that. I think it's going to be after today's match. So,
yeah, well, I hope that the last game of the day is a TVT, so that people are like, do I do it? Do I stay up for charades with Tasteless and Artosis?
I don't know how it's going to look, but we're going to find out how bad we were at charades.
I was really sick at the time. It's not my fault.
Yeah, Artosis was so sick. All right, as you can see here, Group A, Slayers MMA, Slayers YugiOh. We lost that graphic too fast. We got some other great players too, MC and another Slayers player.
Oh, crap. There's 2 Marines.
There's 2 Marines.
Only 1 Hydralisk and 1 Zealot.
Yep.
I actually have those little figures sitting on my desk at home.
Yeah, I make them fight, and here they are now, our 2 Slayers players. It rhymes. Shaking hands, and now moving off to their respective booths. Very important to do well at the start of CODES, because if you flounder out too soon, you're in trouble.
That's right, man. If you fall out right away, that's bad.
And here are our other 2 Nerd Warriors. MC, of course, probably the better-known player.
Yep. And the other guy, of course, was YugiOh.
YugiOh, John's favorite card game.
That's right. That's actually why John came down today.
Yeah,
He's going to try to trade some cards.
Because he saw Slayers YugiOh is here. He's got his entire deck ready.
It's actually John's favorite Zerg player. I asked John, do you like Nestea the most? He said, no, you know what? It's all about Slayers YugiOh. And I said, why? Just because his name is YugiOh? He said, yes. And I said, wow, that's a really weird reason, John. I bet Nestea he can beat Slayers YugiOh at Yu-Gi-Oh! Because Nestea's a superior human.
I agree with you.
John had nothing to say against that, I swear to God, man.
All right, so here is our Terran player, MMA, currently ranked 5th, so his rank is skyrocketing. Well, he was ranked 14th at BlizzCon, if I remember right, so that's a pretty big jump.
That jumps you up, man. Look at those points. 8,268 GSL points, man.
And he's going to be going up against a pretty good Zerg, YugiOh. Now in the game. So it's going to be a TVZ. I would say YugiOh can win, but should he win? Probably not. MMA is basically the favorite. And, of course, MMA is high on life after defeating MVP in what I think were pretty one-sided games. I think we can all agree on that.
That is correct, but he's going to have to prove himself here. YugiOh is no slouch, Tasteless.
No.
He's got a trap card or 2 up his sleeve.
He does. He's ready with the Dark Magician.
That's it, man. He's going to cast some 6 spells on MMA.
That's
MMA
right.
is like Joey level at Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah,
right?
He is not. He might not even have his full deck, okay?
No, he probably doesn't even have a full deck. He just has like the common cards that John throws away because he buys so many booster boxes so that he can have enough of each to make the ultimate Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck.
He just went to the comic book store and got maybe 1, 2, or 3 decks. you got to buy those cards individually, man. You know, I just discovered Artosis.
Yes.
I know that you are fond of Magic. I have played my fair share of Magic, but you actually were a competitive Magic the Gathering player. Turns out that Magic the Gathering cards that are in Korean are worth a ton of money.
Yeah, man. I had some. They're hard to get in America, or they were back when
I need to go get some Magic cards and sell that.
Do it, Tasteless.
Buy an island.
Oh my God! Look at you being
Call
so
it Magic
smart.
Island. A Zerg, 2 Terrans, and a Protoss.
That's your business plan. That's your end-all
Magic
scheme.
Island, man. It's coming up.
Tasteless, the entrepreneur.
Get your mana ready.
He just gets up and unplugs his microphone. He's like, I am out of here.
I heard you can make money playing Magic cards, and you just hear the ruffle of my mic, as I take off my headset and walk out of here. All right, our map is going to be Antigua Shipyard, a TBZ, MMA, High on Life. Can Yu-Gi-Oh take him out? Anything's possible. These guys are teammates that do train together, so obviously Yu-Gi-Oh does take games off MMA.
That's right. But how many, Tasteless? How many?
I don't know.
The map, Antigua Shipyard, Slayers Yu-Gi-Oh, with the calling of the defending champion, hoping to become the team-killing legend.
We're going to see what happens as the game is now loading. Again, the map Antigua Shipyard, a Terran against a Zerg, a champion against an upcoming player who has a lot to prove. Get ready as we see MMA against Yu-Gi-Oh! Here in the GSL Codex, casted by Tasteless and Artosis, the casting Archon, based out here in Seoul, Korea. And we're on. Over here in the bottom right starting location, we have our Red Terran, a champion. His ID.
MMA.
That is actually Arcturus Menk's voice in Korean. So listen, I mean, if he beat the single player and he was on Jim Rayner's side, I don't know, he might be in trouble. Over here.
He'd be offended,
in the upper left. Shut up, Artosis. We have
Slayers Yu-Gi-Oh!
And that is Kerrigan's voice. So Kerrigan, her voice is just as sexy in Korean.
Did you know that on the Korean version, Kerrigan and Mensk are the same voice actor?
No, they're not.
Oh, you
trying
got
to trick
me.
me?
Oh, you got me, Tasteless.
That was so bad.
I love to try to get
I'm
you
like, really?
that.
The voice actor is a hermaphrodite? No, I don't think so, Artosis. You're not going to trick me this time.
Sorry, man.
Artosis is trying to take advantage of me because I'm like such a nice guy, and I'll always like hold him up and like protect him and stuff in the cast. They'll just say something.
I'm actually pure evil, Tasteless.
You are pure evil. That's why you look like a warlock. All right,
look like a warlock
you look
now.
like a warlock, man. You just need a cape, okay?
I see.
All right, so we have Fast Hatchery here for Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, looks like, I wonder if we're going to see a Reactor to Hellion expansion. Definitely could be.
Yeah.
As that is like the build in this matchup still.
Well, it's just a strong build overall.
Could be something else, though. It looks like actually it's going to be a Reaper build.
Wow, these builds are always fun to cast.
Oh, I love Reaper
I don't know
builds.
if Reaper builds are as good on this map. But,
well,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, there's not as many places to jump up. You have to jump up behind the smoke or go into the natural. But Reapers are really fun, Tasteless. They give you map control. They do a lot that a Hellion does at less of a cost. They're a lot quicker to get out, which means that he can make a quicker command center if he wants.
It also does force the Zerg to just be a little bit more guarded. I mean, there aren't a ton of locations to jump into the main on this map, but even having one additional location to defend from that a Queen can't really easily access, that's pretty good.
It certainly is, Tasteless.
Part of me wonders if this is a build that is common for MMA to use in practice, because when you get teammate against teammate games, that's where it sort of gets a little bit weird about how you make your decisions.
Yeah, certainly. And for that reason, I think that this is probably not exactly what he uses in practice against Yu-Gi-Oh! Of course, when he saw he was against Yu-Gi-Oh!, I'm sure that he just very calmly decided to practice a new build to destroy him with.
All right, now the Overlord, smart move by Yu-Gi-Oh! He's checking over here, so he'll see this. He'll have a 2.5 second lead there to respond. Now, you don't want to fight those Zerglings on the creep. You need to get off the creep. And this is not the best Reaper control in the world, to be frank.
No, not the best.
Not the best. Not even top 10.
No, I would say not even top 10.
I'd say, top 1,000. No, actually, no.
No, wouldn't say that either. A lot of people, man, would not have lost hit points there. But he did kill a couple Zerglings. He got some scouting info done. But everything looks pretty standard. He didn't find anything out of the ordinary. Everything's pretty normal. In the meantime, he is getting siege mode, and a Hellion. I was going to say a siege tank with siege mode, but actually then I clicked on the factory and saw it's in fact a Hellion with siege mode. Imagine that. 13 range blue flame.
Imagine that. They can hit air units.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Just shreds the, actually, it just is the shredder from Heart of the Swarm.
Oh, by the way, we were at BlizzCon. Dustin Browder, being the hero nerd that he is, pulled us aside and let us play.
Oh, my God.
Heart of the Swarm.
That was one of the greatest moments of my life.
Dan and me were just, wiggling around the chair, so cool.
I swear to God, tastes that Oracle
those new units are going to be very interesting.
Oh, they're going to be so much fun.
That is when my entire casting life is going to change.
Pro gaming is going to get so much better.
Is he going to get this creep tumor? Is he
going to get it? Oh, and it just keeps gaining health, Tasteless. It just doesn't want to die.
Not die.
It's the creep tumor that would not die.
And the queen transfuses the creep tumor. I'm like, what?
You can lay 2 creep tumors for that energy.
I know, that's the joke,
You're
man.
so funny. I'm like, Tasteless, that's not a strategy.
He's just that crazy out of control.
Someone put my mouse scroll on my arrow scroll so low, Tasteless.
Oh my God, your arrow scroll is so slow.
I'm actually, it's defeating my soul at the moment. But every time that I hit F10 to try to fix stuff, I always accidentally pause it, and then I just get red in the face while everyone's wondering what's going on.
Yeah, I have some of those reflexive problems.
Yeah.
I remember when I first came to Gulm and I was doing the observing. We were casting so much, it was like 6 days a week. So you and I weren't even able to play as much. And then when I started playing, I realized I was doing the same maneuvers I do when I'm observing.
Oh, that's so funny.
You know what I'm talking about? Trying to get the camera to pan. I'm like,
you panning the camera while you micro your units?
Yeah, and I'm like, what am I doing?
You have the most beautiful first player screen ever.
Yeah, as I lose.
As you get destroyed.
Well, actually, that was like the start of the game, so even then you were still winning. All right, he's going to actually destroy the destructible rocks over here. And that's, that is an interesting location to do that in. You would have thought he would have gone and done that at the Zerg's location.
That is kind of interesting.
What do you think?
But you know what? He has to use that Reaper for something. Okay, there's already speed on the Lings. He has to keep it out of range. And realistically, that's an okay thing to do. I mean, will that come into play this game? I doubt it. But keep that Reaper active. There's no reason to just throw it somewhere that you know it's going to die, like the middle of the map.
Yeah, I mean, where you're just going to get surprised by Zerglings. So, Speedlings are out, and by the way, YugiOh's creep spread is completely off the hook.
It's fantastical, actually, Tasteless. That's the technical term. He's even using Overlords for creep, something we never see Zerg players do for some reason. He does have mutas on the way as the drop's moving out as well. So if he sees this coming, this is going to be huge for YugiOh.
Yeah, YugiOh not quite using all those Zerglings to cover every part of the map, but I think... Wait. Did the Overlord see that? Our observer, I think, might have missed it, but he's going to see this for sure.
I don't think he did see that.
Really? Okay,
I'm not sure if he did see it. Well, he should have seen that one. We will see it, and the mutas do look like they're flying into the right position. He scans, sees the mutas moving in, and decides to turn around. Good choice, Mr. Medevac Driver, or Ms. Medevac.
It's Miss Medevac Driver, you sexist, chauvinistic pig.
You don't know if she's married. It's Ms.
But you said Mr. at the start. You can't get out of this.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
You got me, Tasteless.
I know you think that all the Medevacs should just be at home barefoot and pregnant Artosis, but I don't, all right?
You got me, Tasteless.
All right.
I'm a pig.
All right. On to this game. The creep spread, by the way, is still looking so good.
Yeah.
For YugiOh. It's actually pretty scary.
His macro's looking really good, too. His economy right now, he is up already at 75 drones against 56 SCVs. He's doing a great job of things right now. In the meantime, these mutas not going to find any ins. MMA is really closing up all the entrances into his base. He's got those double E-bays going, which tells us that he's definitely going for a longer game. Probably not just a 2-base push. If he does, it's going to be as soon as 1-1 finishes, but I strongly doubt that. I think we're going to see him go up for a 3rd base, start his 2-2, and then hit a timing with that.
Add-on complete.
Again, nice map control here by YugiOh. He wanted to go ahead and get that tech lab. Is he going to get it? That would actually be pretty huge. He's got to be careful of those turrets. No, he needs to pull out.
Oh, and he loses Muta, really not doing any damage there. But again, neither player has really done damage to each other. 15 supply up is YugiOh right now because he is Zerg and he's macroing well. Taking that 4th base. And notice, Tasteless, the 4th base he took. Oh, wait. Let's talk about this drop real quick. Here's a drop. Take it away, Tasteless.
Well, meanwhile, we have an attack coming out here in the middle of the map. He is going to get that spine crawler just barely. Nope.
Gets the
28 HP left. Terran is moving out in the middle of the map, but honestly, I'm a little bit scared for MMA. That's a pretty dinky army here for the Terran to get across that much creep.
It truly is, but the Baneling Nest hasn't been started yet, so that's going to help out. Infestation Pit just finished. 9 more mutas on the way. It looks like YugiOh right now is playing more of a Xenix line style, where you go for a lot of Zerglings and a ton of mutas. So he's going to have more mutas than MMA is normally going to be ready for. And in fact, let me check the upgrades on these Lings. They're just going to have the +1 armor. This is just a positional pressure by MMA while he's setting up his 3rd base. He's got that 2-2 going, like we talked about earlier. But he's got to be careful with those units in the center.
Wow.
Sick right there.
That was bad.
That's really painful. The reason you skip the Banelings right now early in the game is to get more Mutalisks. So to lose any of them is a travesty.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time overpowering those Marines later. I mean, really the emphasis is you have so many Mutalisks that when the Zerglings and Mutas come in, you should have mowed down all of the Marines to the point where the Mutas can clean up the siege tanks, and then everything is reset. All right. Terran is getting into position. He's getting close.
Look at that siege tank spread right there, Tasteless. Those Banelings with no speed are not going to do anything
And
here.
even sicker than that is the Marine spread here to cover all that.
Yeah, look at that. The Muta's trying to find a way in, but they can't. And oh my god, there's so many hurt Mutas there. These Mutas are actually just, a lot of them, very badly hurt. Only one Pumpkin Muta. Halloween really is over.
Yeah, that's the one that didn't sell on Halloween. And listen, guys, take your jack-o'-lanterns down now that it's Halloween. Don't leave them out until it's Christmas time. Don't be that family, okay?
Dude, the Christmas lights from when I was like 10 are still up on my house.
Well, that's how to do it. That's actually okay because.
Okay.
I mean, who wants to take that down, really? What kind of tool do you think I am?
The pumpkin rotted into dirt on my porch, so how about that? It's still there, a little pile of dirt. All right, here we go. Turns around, never mind. Ain't going nowhere yet.
Oh,
Tasteless.
the Queen is melted. The Banelings, again, not with speed yet.
A lot of damage being done. That speed still on the way. More and more upgrades being made. But YugiOh is not mining from his 4th base, so it's basically 3 base against 3 base. Zerg is max 162. This is the 1 weak moment. And the Sage Tanks way over to the side. No Marines anywhere, and the Muta's killing these off.
Oh my god,
he is in trouble now, Tasteless.
The attack has been triggered. The Banelings are now moving in. And actually...
Oh my god. 1 Siege Tank volley just got about a quadrillion Banelings, Tasteless. I don't know what to say about that. Except for ouch for Zerg. That was really sloppy by YugiOh.
He's now taken out, every siege tank. So this is pretty wild,
pretty
bad
really.
for the Terran. I mean, the Marines can run around and stem. A Thor here, so that's going to be a little bit tough for the Mutas to harass as much. But still, if he can get a few more Zerglings and Banelings, he can run this over. 2 Thors now. The Muta's definitely not going to be as interested in engaging there. He has used those Banelings on the Marines, not on the Thors. Muta's magic boxing, hitting the first Thor, and oh man, I gotta say YugiOh is getting 5 stars for holding off this attack.
Yeah, so far so good, but you know, more and more units are coming. He's losing that Mutalisk cloud, and he cannot do that. And you know, he is up in supply, but his quality of units is just garbage. He's got almost no Mutas. He's got a lot of Lings still, and he's holding off the attack, yes. But, I mean, the quality of the Marines and the tanks being pumped out with 2-2 as opposed to these 0-2 Zerglings, it's just not comparable. So if MMA pulls back for a little bit and plays carefully, macros up and moves out again, YugiOh is going to be in a ton of trouble.
YugiOh right now at 147 supply, our Terran player and champion MMA at 124.
He does have +2 for those Siege Tanks, just vastly superior upgrades on our Terran player.
You notice YugiOh pushing out here with the Overlords to get more creep out there. That's actually pretty impressive.
Yeah.
A lot of times we see guys get their creeps killed, and they just sort of stop playing the game from there. We'll stop expanding creep from there, I should say. if you keep playing the game, of course. How is the bottom left expansion doing, Artosis? Is that... Oh, excuse me. I meant the upper right expansion.
He still has no drones at him, man. That's why I'm a little bit nervous about him. The supplies are beginning to equalize, and as long as MMA doesn't over-push right now, which it feels like he is, I mean, YugiOh does not have quality units. He does not have a huge economy. He does not have great upgrades. Nothing's working out for him. All MMA has to do right now is basically hit his max and go. And if he does that, YugiOh is going to be just so dead.
Yeah, YugiOh is hanging on pretty well, but I think you're totally right. His army composition isn't exactly
I mean,
perfect.
You got to be building up something during the game, whether it's infestors, whether it's mutas, whether it's upgrades, and he just has been kind of very middle of the road, barely holding attacks off.
He's been holding off most of his attacks by losing everything. And actually, it's very easy for the Terran to just sit comfortably on 3 bases, especially to get denied this 4th up here.
Well,
note he's moving back here. This siege tank going to be locked out.
Zergling's not going to do anything at all. He's trying to counterattack a little bit. Will counter the 3rd pretty strongly.
Yeah, nice. He's actually going to get a ton of SCVs.
But in the meantime, he is going to lose his 4th base, which just got drones at it. See? Just cut those drones, guys. And down they will go.
I think YugiOh's in trouble, Artosis.
Yeah, but
then again, MMA does not have a 3rd base right now.
Both players approaching their maxed armies. And we're going to see a gigantic flank on the middle, it looks like. He's got to really spread out his Zerglings, try to minimize the tank splash damage. And he can do it, man. He can make something happen here. He can kill one more army of MMA after dealing that much damage to him economically. That's pretty huge.
Getting those 3 siege tanks is pretty big, too. I mean, that's the one thing that Terran is trying to build up his team for most of the game. Now, bold move here by MMA. He says, all right, forget about whatever the Zerg's doing. I'm going to take the 3rd base over here while dropping into the main. This drop is not going to work, though.
Yeah, it does not look like that drop will do very much. Here's like the funniest queen in that main base. I wish someone would show it, Tasteless.
Oh, yeah, that is
no way to steer the observer there.
All right, we have a drop. Oddly enough, the Zergling's moving away. But the Muta's now flying. He's got to be careful. Don't want to lose any Mutas. He's already lost 1. He really needs to keep that Muta count big. It's going to be tough for Zerg to tech in anything else right now.
Well, we do have 3-3 on these Marines, Tasteless. They're going to be able to kill just about everything. Baneling's still going to be an issue, but there's a lot of siege tanks out. A couple changelings in that army. And with the gold up, man.
Yeah, and a planetary finishing.
Yeah, right now it's going to be 4 bases against 3 in Terran's favor. YugiOh is making some more bases, but how's he going to get drones there? How is he going to do anything, really? This is a very bad position for him. In fact, he's behind in supply now, 180 against a max.
All right, nice. Taking out the siege tanks over here, but still. The problem right now for YugiOh is he never transitioned in anything, and he's going to lose all those drones. But the main thing is that he just didn't transition into we have a normal, healthy endgame for Zerg. He's stuck with mid-game units. Here comes the attack now.
And it's a huge one. The Baneling's going to have to hit siege tanks just trying to roll past, but being targeted down beautifully. That is a lot of Zerglings, but guess what? That's a planetary fortress.
Yeah, those things are pretty good.
They're all right against Zerglings, to be honest. 24 kills.
Oh, nice. Now. Beautiful drop over here. This actually may be GG, actually.
Yeah, this is getting pretty bad. Our Zerg player has very little left. He's mining just barely at the moment. He's going to lose his Spire. Even his spawning pool's already down. Yeah, we're going to be seeing GG in just a second here, Tasteless.
Yeah, he will barely... actually, never mind. I've got a shot of this now. Nope. All right, guys, I would say expect GG shortly here. All the Zerg Terran has to do is not lose that gold for the next few minutes. And maybe try to wipe out a few of these additional bases. He has some extra bases that are up, but they don't really have a ton of drones with them. No gas and stuff like that,
He's down by 50 supply. He's down on upgrades. He's down on economy. YugiOh is just flying around until he loses these mutas, it feels like. Flying these mutas around, flying them around, trying to kill stuff.
Nice, actually, here, taking out some SCVs, but
yeah, I mean, he's doing a good job of it.
That's not a full solution. That's just, some nice harass.
Yeah. This is like, you've played these games, Tasteless. You still have like a bunch of fun units like Mutas or High Templars or Ghosts or something, and you just don't want to leave till they're dead.
Yeah, you're normally like
what damage can I do with this?
You're like, this guy's so bad. Is you like he's beating you and you're just trying to kill.
You kill like 4 units and you somehow.
But
be like, well, see that?
Occasionally you get that one player who like actually turns around and you send the mutas to his base. You're like, what? All right, GG. All right, great game. Really impressive play by MMA.
It is.
I think YugiOh showed us that he's a good player, that he can kind of hold his own against MMA, but he wasn't able to transition into anything. No investors, no brood lords.
That's the thing. You have to have an endgame plan with Zerg. It looked like the endgame plan when you go so late Baneling Nest, as you see YugiOh's a little bit crushed by that defeat.
Yeah, very
he shouldn't be, though, because he was completely outplayed. But, you know, the thing is, he was trying to stay mutas for a very long time. And then he kept losing mutas everywhere. You have to keep those mutas alive. If you want to skip banelings, you have to keep your mutas alive. You have to do it. He's not teching up into infestors. He's getting very slow banelings. He's not going for hive at all. You need something. You can't just keep making zerglings and banelings and hope to win.
If you notice in that game, there was maybe like 15 moments where it was like one muta or two mutas were picked off.
Yeah.
And that's just unacceptable. Because,
that's like 10 mutas through the course of the game.
Yeah, that's 10 to 15 mutas that could have been there in the end, because the muta is really the muscle in the mid-game.
Yeah.
I mean, you have these Zerglings that are kind of, they interfere with the Marines, but the Zerglings are almost like free if you want to think about it that way. That's just where you're spending extra money. Your minerals are going to Zerglings and hatcheries and overlords.
Zergling Baneling is great for tempo attacks. They're great for flooding someone, but you have to have something else in there. And after losing all his mutas, he just sits there on Zergling Baneling. So that's the issue. That's why MMA crushed him. Yeah, we'll see, though. He looked really good. YugiOh looked very good.
Yeah, if YugiOh can do a little bit better this time around, the map will be Crossfire, and I think this is a map where we have seen Zergs have a lot of success, even though theoretically it would seem like it would just be a tough map for Zerg to play against Terranon. Especially in the mid-game, we've seen players like July Zerg really impress us. I think he just has to be more careful going into this.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, not just spreading the creep, not just expanding all the time, but you know, keeping those mutas alive, basically. I mean, if there's one thing we can learn from that game, that would be it. All right, now we're going to go on to our next game.
Yep.
It's going to be OGS MC up against, I believe it's Ryung.
Yeah, it's going to be Ryung. One of my favorite
I'm sorry,
Terrans.
I just said, I like that hand motion he's doing. All right, we have, I know I just said that for some reason that the other two players are going to play again. Sorry, guys, a little out of it here.
No problem, Tastes. I'm sorry.
I'm just so used to our old
keyboard
format.
Scroll.
Yeah, it's fine. I was looking at a different screen.
It was melting my brain, that game, trying to maneuver around.
All right, so MC does not know what that hand gesture means, but he is going to do that on camera with that hot pack. That hot pack, of course, you shake the hot pack, and that is like how does it work? It's like there's these powders in there. You shake it up, and then it causes.
And then what that does is it creates magic, and it becomes really hot.
Yeah, and of course you need to have hot hands when you play StarCraft. I'm totally serious about this, guys.
Yeah.
You have to have the blood circulating in your hands. If you've ever played a piano in an ice-cold room, you'd notice it's just not as easy to hit the keys in the right order.
Now that you say that, Tasteless, once upon a time, I was actually at this butcher's shop as a child. And it wasn't just a butcher shop, it also doubled as a piano store. And I got locked in...
What?
I got locked in the meat locker just for a moment. And the thing is, no one could hear me. But there's a piano in there. So I played the piano to try to get out by making people hear me. They'd be like, what's that piano? Oh, we have pianos in the meat locker.
Okay,
and then they let me out.
This is like actually the weird. This actually sounds to me more like a really weird dream you had last night that you're trying. And then and then your sister was there and she had wooden teeth. Okay, but you know that. It's
what does it mean?
What does it mean? I need to see a psychiatrist.
When you said playing a piano in an ice cold room, I'm like, well, I can't relate to this. Let me make something up.
Putting his eye drops in. He's not going to be drinking.
He's getting his red eye going, Tasteless.
Yeah.
Some bebop action going on.
I don't know. I was gonna. You know that your story actually sounds like one of those weird graphic adventure games, like King's Quest or whatever. You're in that weird.
Oh yeah.
You had to like learn the piano,
pick up the lozenge, and then like four stages later, you have to use it for something insane.
Pick up the old boot. I'm like, look, okay, I don't care where I am in the world. I'm not going to carry an old boot around with me. That's not useful. Okay.
I feel so embarrassed. I pull an old boot out of my backpack and throw it in the trash. Like, I thought this would come in handy
But you
eventually.
use the boot and fill it up with water to throw to the cat so it doesn't kill the mouse. Because the mouse will give you the special piece of cheese, and the cheese will be used to make the special sandwich to give to the ogre so you can get inside the castle. You know,
But that ogre will kill you if he thinks that cheese came from a mouse's mouth.
Yeah,
mice
but
are
he doesn't know.
dirty.
Mice are dirty.
It's disease-ridden little mice.
All right. Match point. OGSMC with 3 wins against Slayers. Liang really proved himself as the new emperor in throne. We will find out soon as the countdown
I don't think
has
he will.
started. As the countdown has begun, MC Mincho against Liang from the Team Slayers. We call him the Kratos Protoss. Liang, one of the scariest Terran versus Terran players in the world, but I think he might have a hard time against somebody like MC. MC making his debut here again after kind of sinking to the bottom of the StarCraft 2 esports scene. He's here back to prove you all that he's still a champion.
It's his red bout.
His red bout.
Re-debut. Get it?
I get it. All right, MC against Liang here at the GSL Code S.